Have you ever wondered why the entertainers in the North, particularly artists, rise to a certain level but never go beyond that? Yes, you got that. Or have you ever thought of why our songs are not heard beyond the shores of the North? What could be the reason behind that? Hello and welcome to Spirit Podcast, where we unravel hidden truths and untold stories. You know how we do here, we say it as it is. My name is Rhapsody Afos, and I'll be your host for today. To unravel this, we have a special guest in the house. He's a bilingual rapper. He has been there, he has seen that. He's an extraordinary rapper with catalogs of songs. He's nobody else but the popular MarTino Elcasino, aka Damma Mom Patience. Welcome to the studio, sir.
Thank you so much, bro. It's amazing. Nice to have you around. Nice to be with you in your beautiful studio.
Thank you so much.
I feel like not living here at all, man.
Thank you. Thank you for honoring our invitation.
Thank you so much.
I believe I've not done justice to the introduction. Can you tell us who MarTino Elcasino is? I know so many people have known about you, have been hearing about you for over a decade. So can you tell us yourself who MarTino Elcasino, aka Damma Mom Patience, is?
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I go by the name MarTino Elcasino. I'm a rap artist.
Wow.
A music producer.
Wow.
A record executive. I'm a youth activist. I'm a farmer. I'm a lot of things. But then I'm MarTino Elcasino, just as you know, aka Damma Mom Patience.
Wow.
Yeah.
You seem to have a lot of things to your profile. You know, I know you as a rapper, and I'm not sure I know if you are a producer, but I know you as a rapper, and then you do so many things. You're actually a creative person. So,
at a point in time, I just had to be a producer. I think I have like close to 300 records and sketches that I produce.
You produced
myself.
yourself?
Yeah.
300?
Yeah, about 300 by now.
That means it's like you have more songs than some producers.
Honestly, I just had to keep recording because I've been hearing about artist catalogs, this and that. So I had to make sure, I got myself some tools. I'm self-taught.
Wow.
I taught myself how to make beats, how to pick records. I don't think I'm perfect at it, but then I've gone to a level where I can at least store my ideas, even clean it up and sell it out there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I have a couple of songs.
Quite impressive.
Yeah, so
maybe after now, I want to go and produce a song in your place.
No problem, man. You're welcome. I think you used to be an artist before, right?
Yes, before
are
we
you
left.
on a race with Jao? Are you still in the game?
Music lives in me, actually.
Okay,
I love music.
You're welcome to my studio, man. Welcome to my studio. I can even pack the tools from Yola to Jali.
No problem.
So we can.
No problem.
Yeah.
Now let's go to the crux of the matter.
Okay.
You know, we are in the North. The North is where our base is.
Yeah.
So we intend to affect the entire globe from the North.
Yeah.
But why do you feel, I know you have lots of experiences in the music industry.
Yeah.
I know personally I'm a fan. I've been listening to your songs for over, I think as far back as 2012.
Yeah.
So why do you think that? What are the challenges that are facing the artists in the North? Now, this is what I mean. I mean, most of our artists rise to a certain level and they barely go beyond that level. Only a few people have been able to break these jinx. So what do you think are the challenges facing the artists in the North? What are these things limiting the artists in the North? Speaking from experience.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for this question. I think, this is something that's really, really broad, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, really broad. Because the problems are multifaceted. Problems came in stages because I've been in the industry for quite some time. I studied what stopped us for quite some time.
Okay.
At a point in my career, we never really believed in the potentials in the North.
Okay.
Yeah, all musicians were kind of like trying to go to the South to go and sell their records or whatever. But then the South also have their own musicians there who also want to sell. All thanks to the people at the Southwest and the Southeast, whatever. I've been to Lagos myself and I enjoyed my stay in 3 years. If I've never been there, I couldn't have been disinformed actually. Mm-hmm. But then at first, we never really believed in the potentials that we have in the North. No. So it took us time to then understand that, wow, we can actually sell our records from the North. I remember back then when we started rapping, you just have to rap in all English like we used to hear the Americans do. Yes. Because then we used to hear some rap from Lagos in Yoruba, but we couldn't speak the Yoruba. Some of us actually even tried to rap in Yoruba from the North. But it never really worked. So, and it took us time to get to understand that we were actually hitting it wrong. Then along the line, a couple of us went to Lagos with a different vision actually, but I think we learned and most of us are back home right now. But then when we talk about the reason why artists in the North are yet to get there, I think they are getting there actually.
Okay.
We're getting there.
Yes.
We're getting there. But then, so far there are a lot of misconceptions. Only a few of us have been out there to like the Southwest to see how these people turn music into money. Only a few of us.
Okay.
And yes, some after, they took time to learn in Lagos. So now that they are back, they just want to eat. They don't even want to tell anybody what's really happening. They just want to eat.
Yes.
So we've not been passing information around among ourselves well. I think if we've been just enough to tell those who have not traveled. And then secondly, our younger artists here are not really ready to listen to you.
Okay.
Honestly speaking, they're not ready to listen. I think there's this illusion in the North where they feel you can achieve fame quickly by beefing somebody who's been there, so that all this and that. So it kept even the OGs, those with the experience, far from the younger ones. You understand?
Okay.
We could have gone, way ahead of this moment that we're in. But because the North has the population.
Yes.
All we have to do is to do the right type of art that will sink into our societies, that our society will accept. But then, and there's been a lot of misconceptions here and there, but we're learning gradually. I think, all these things we're doing, we started learning from hip hop.
Yes.
But then a lot of people who are actually talented in singing did not really sit down to study what hip hop is.
Okay.
Yeah, hip hop is actually a whole culture. So we have young people with talents, but they don't understand the whole culture. Had we understood the culture, we could have gone way beyond here. And secondly, we must understand that this is the North, where we have some kind of, tight cultures. We don't want anything to just infiltrate.
Yes.
So we need to find a way to, first of all, I told you, we need to come together as artists, share experiences. Then secondly, we need to find a way to harmonize our culture with the pre-existing culture in the North. We must show them that this thing is not against your culture.
Yes.
We must show them that hip hop is actually a culture by African Americans, which they probably might have gotten from Africa before they were,
yes.
So it's something that has been here. All we have to do is to refine it and then show our society that this is what this thing means. Because there is this misconception. We have money in the North. We have the population in the North. No doubt, bro.
Yes.
But then they are even scared, to invest in this thing. They'd be like, well, number, is this not this thing that you kill themselves over or this and that?
Now that's another thing. Sorry to cut you. That's because if, like you said, we in the North, we have this, we are culture,
It's kind of stereotypical, man. There's a way that people are just viewed. If it ain't like that, it looks alien.
Yes. And so, the reason, I feel sometimes the reason is because once you try to do something that looks alien to the culture, that's the culture of the Northerners here, they try to fight against it. Now, you realize that most times people who are into music, particularly the hip hop artists, are the ones from the society, from all I've seen now as a young man, they are the ones into drug, they are the ones into smoking, they are the ones doing gangsterism, and these are things that no sensible parent would want.
Honestly. But then this gives us a reason. This gives us a reason to check into this culture. First of all, accept the culture, because this culture is already here. Our youth have been absorbing a lot of music from outside. We can't control it. It's out there in the internet. They can buy data and browse it, this and that. So what we need to do is to accept this culture first, and then make sure we do it in a way that it doesn't affect our society negatively.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my best advice to the people of the North. Hip hop or whatever music is here, and it's here to stay. What we need to do is to all come together and then make sure we do the thing in a way that it won't actually affect the way people used to live here. We don't really want that gangsterism and the drugs. And actually, just like you said, I think the issue of the gangsterism and all the celebrity feeling supersedes the productivity actually.
Yes.
But let me tell you something. As much as the Northern culture is kind of resistant to newer cultures, I saw myself use hip hop to do a lot of things that the Northern people accepted and have been rewarded for it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, tell us about some of these things you just mentioned.
For example, like I've been a rapper here in the North. Then I went to Lagos at a point. Then I got to find out that I need to come back to my land. After learning this and that, I was like, let me come back to my land, study the geographical location, study the way the people communicate, and try to do music in the way that they will understand. Then at the point I refined it You know, by the time you come out to provide solutions to problems, you find out you become successful at the end of the day.
Yes.
So I came and I looked at the scenario. Then I think there was this case of herders and farmers.
Yes.
So I was like, how can I use my music to pass a message about this? So I use my own intuition, you know, as a musician, I thought of it. Then I made a song titled Us versus Us.
Yes, I think.
Where you hear a herdsman and a farmer trying to rap their way out of their problems.
Yes.
Then I think the third verse was like the village head trying to help them solve the issue. So when I did that, a white man from Sweden, Mr. Brian Werner, he came to Nigeria to intervene through an European Union funded program on herders farmers clashes. Then he watched the video and he was like, man, I'm impressed by this. This guy is trying to solve this problem on his own.
Yes.
Give him a contract. And I was contracted. I was taught. I got a little money. That's out of my music.
Yes.
And besides that, I saw a couple of politicians sent for me to be like, we like that guy that sang about herdsmen and farmers. And all I did was rap. So you can see they can actually accept it if we do it in a way that the society will understand.
Wow. You know, you've said quite a lot of things, but let me start from this one you just said. You know, most times we feel, it's not just a feeling. Most times, young people do not listen to such songs about peace. They prefer songs that has baby, songs that are, those that has vulgar language. These are the things that appeals to young people. So how do you find a balance as as someone who has been in the game as an OG? How do you find the balance when you want to talk to younger ones who see the trends that such songs do not sell? Because that's why you hear a peace song that will be out, even if it features the old stars, and one Naira Marley song comes out, people vibe to the one that has more vulgar language than. And so,
one thing is, I'm deeply rooted in this hip hop culture. Like I came from the first day I stepped into the studio, I had my game plan in my head. I tried to envision the future, and I stood by my notion that hip hop is to be used to make the society better.
Okay.
That's why you've never heard me, doing all the songs that have a lot of vulgarity in it. If you hear my hip hop from afar, you might think this is one of those regular hip hop things. But if you should sit down and listen to the lyrics, you get to find out the positivity that I'm trying to pass in the message. Then at this point, I think I would advise musicians in the North to be a little bit strategic.
Okay.
If you ask musicians today, what's stopping you from progressing? They probably might say finance. They'll say, but there is no money for me to produce this and that.
Oh, they are right, actually.
They are right. Okay, now we have to be strategic. We are in the North. Where is the money? You can't tell me there is no money in the North.
Of course.
There is, bro. Let's not lie. But where is the money? Now, this money is in the hands of those elders, our northern elders. And it's only when we make them comfortable that they will feel free to give us some. Today, nobody around here can do an event that is bigger than the one that the state can do.
Yes, that's true.
Nobody can do an event that is bigger than the one the state can do. But then one problem is probably the state is not seeing songs that is helping it to solve its problem. Let's say songs, for example, the song I did about herdsmen and farmers. Somebody can do a song about the need for us to check drug abuse and all this and that. And I think by the time a couple of artists do this, the government will feel there is need for us to invest in this. First, we need to know where the money is. I can't sing about baby to guys who just love it online and I stay broke at home. The music industry needs somebody who is established. And I need to find that money. I have to go towards where that money is and make these people satisfied. I think that's where musicians are getting it wrong.
Yes.
They are just seeing Naira Marley on TV. Me, I've been to Lagos, I've seen these guys. I lived amidst some of them. Bro, what they actually needed was, like all this while, what people like that need is attention.
Okay.
Prior to the time we heard them as musicians, they had money. They've been to England. They've been to here. I don't really want to know where they got their monies from. But what they need is attention, so they do just that. If you're a musician here and you want some money,
it's a different song entirely.
Entirely, bro. Don't just go and copy someone. They're in a different world and you're in a different world. You need to know where your money is and then go towards it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think you've said quite a number of things that artists, particularly upcoming artists, should listen to, should learn from.
Yeah.
Now, talking about Lagos, I remember in 2014, when the news broke out that you were signed to a record label in Lagos, I was so happy. I think I was among the first 5 people that shared the post. I was so happy.
I can remember.
I was so happy.
I can remember the brouhaha.
Yeah, so, but what happened? What actually happened? Because at the point you went to Lagos, we all were happy. I think you released 1 or 2 songs. You even featured in the song that has Terry the Rapman, that had
real.
Kells,
Yeah.
that had Sean Luther something.
Yeah, Sean Martin Luther
Sean
King.
Martin, yeah,
Yeah.
and then few other stars, A-list artists.
Yeah.
And what actually happened that you are now back to the north again? Because this is where people from the north want to go. That's Lagos.
Yeah.
Now you went to Lagos, but you are now back to the north. What actually happened with the whole thing?
Before I go further, I would like to ask if you know of any northern artist that is thriving in Lagos right now. I would like to know who the artist is and his address. We all went there to learn. Lagos is a land that is already jam-packed. They have their own kids doing music too. Yeah, they are always willing to open the doors for the northern artists to come and give it a try. But honestly, everybody, man, I said, if you have anybody that's living in Lagos now, being successful, a northern artist, please, I would like to know his address. A couple of us did this and did that. I would like to say most of us went there, to learn, to do a little business, establish connections, this and that. But most of us are back home.
Yes.
Yeah, most of us are back home right now. And I think all we need to do right now is to show the experience that we got from there. But talking about my own case personally, you said signed, but I never told anybody I was signed.
But that was what was online.
It was just like a rumor. I actually went to Lagos to learn.
Okay.
And then I was ready to pick whatsoever opportunity that comes to me. But then I went there primarily to learn and, hitches here and there. At the end of the day, I was able to hang on and get what I call my street diploma. Make sure you stay for more than 2 years on the street, to learn whatever. And I did that. And then it helped me a lot. If not for my journey to Lagos, I don't know if I would still be like this. I probably
Honestly.
might be confused somewhere.
Because I remember at that point, it's like you were given a car and stuff like that. You won a competition that Future was in Yanya, something like that, and stuff like that. Yeah,
this were basically rumors, so to say. What actually happened was I was in Yola trying to see how I can make my hip hop sell.
Yes.
So I went and learned how to use Fruity Loops by force, and I did a couple of songs. I packaged them in a CD, and I was trying to sell with a projection that I would make 300,000 and move myself to Lagos.
Okay.
So when I dropped the first single, which was Enawau,
Yes, my favorite song.
yeah, that single caught fire, you understand? I think somebody wanted to use the song to prove to someone in Lagos that it was his.
Wow.
Yeah, a Northerner.
And Northerner.
Yeah, a Northerner. I think that was how the whole thing started. He played it to one big Yoruba guy that it was his. And then the Yoruba guy was like, nah, man, this ain't you. Can you prove to me? At the end of the day, he couldn't prove. But he was he tried to be a good brother by saying, no, I know the guy that did it.
Wow.
So he was like, bring the guy over, let's see, whatever. Then I went there. I saw all these contracts, but I'm somebody that reads.
Yes.
I read a lot. And my elder brother is a lawyer, so I took some of his books when I was young to read them. So I know a little bit about law. So I read, and I found out it ain't all about these contracts. One thing that an artist needs to do is you work on yourself so hard. That's one thing I learned in Lagos. Don't wait for a record label to come and meet you wretched.
Yes.
That's why you hear a lot of people crying after record deals. Keep working on yourself until a company comes to work with you.
Yes.
Yeah, not just sign you.
Work with you. I think that is
For real. Keep working on yourself until big corporations come to work with you, not sign you. So I saw myself. I refused a couple of contracts in Lagos.
Wow.
Yeah, because I saw the vulnerability in it, man.
Yes.
If I go into that, I'll become a slave.
Because I think it's just lately I started observing. I realized that most times some of these record labels, they feed on the desperation of the artists.
They know, man.
Because you want to be popular, you want to be known at all costs, they bring a paper to you, just sign. And you realize that maybe after 1 or 2 years and then you started getting fame, but there's no money, then you realize that you're actually you're doing the entire work, but you're just getting a stipend from it. Honestly. And that's where the issue normally emerges from.
I know of an artist. I don't want to mention the name because he's now a big artist and I just don't want to mention the name just like that.
Yes,
not like because I'm scared or something. But then I knew of an artist who was offered, I think, 3 to 5 million for 7 albums. Then he was broke. It's like, just the way I am with you right now. Somebody says, Tino, here's 5 million. Just sign this. You'll be like, bro, collect it now.
Of course,
so
of course.
The guy signed the contract.
Wow.
After the first album, then they used to sell CDs. Yes. Let's assume a CD is like $100. If you sell 1 million copies of the CDs, that's 100 million naira.
Wow.
Yeah. Then he found, I think he sold more than 10 million copies all through Nigeria, all across Nigeria, and the money was going into its billions.
Wow.
Then he has 7 more albums to go.
Okay.
And he signed it. At the end of the day, I think they had to just help the guy to solve the case out of court.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So sometimes they feed on the desperation of the young artists. And my advice for the young artists is don't even pray for all these big corporations to meet you while you are broke. Keep working on yourself. Keep working on yourself. For example, I'm MarTino. When you come to me to talk music, I have a registered music company. Northern Exposure, yeah, it's government registered. This is one thing I would like to tell all these my young people. Not just musicians, everybody, young people, get your businesses registered. Get a business name and get it registered. Because you're talking about money, you get some kind of money, we be see all these our accounts, no they receive.
At all.
So if you want collect BIM, go CSC first, get your whatever, go to FIRS, get your company account, and maybe BIM go fit enter inside.
That's true.
I went to Lagos and I learned all these things and I came back. Now I'm working on myself. Whichever company comes, we work together, man. We split the shares. Don't just come and meet me like that and turn me to your slave.
So more like you learned the hard way. It's more like you learned the hard way? Bro,
it was hard. Because I remember when I was in Lagos, there was a time I lost my accommodation and
wow.
I had to leave. I had to live in the trailer park.
Wow.
Yeah. But then it's none of my business. Like as then when I was in that situation, it's not for me to start telling people I'm here. I could go to Facebook and see, like, there were friends of mine who were angry. They heard rumors that MarTino has 10 million naira lodged in his account.
Exactly. That's where we're like, wow, since someone from Adama has gone, it means that we have more people.
It's a very good thing though. It's a very good thing because I got a very, very good knowledge from Lagos. I helped a lot of people. I have artists who are currently thriving in Lagos. They came in through me. I first accommodated them, kept them there, and they're still there. So I thank God I didn't just go there and come back. Like I actually made sure I kept some people in my position. Then I'm back home to help the lots that are down here. A lot of artists are down here and they don't know what to do next. So that's what I'm back here to do, basically. But Lagos loved me. Lagos gave me the best comfort. Like I've never been as comfortable as I was in Lagos.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Now talking about the people you've helped, some of the northern artists. Now let's talk about Muffin.
Yeah.
Yes. The Who U Epp. One of the Who U Epp winners organized competition by Olamide in 2016. Yeah. So before when we invited you for this interview, I was just reading online. In as much as I had the prior information about it some years ago, I was reading online. It was saying that you played a crucial role in the emergence of Muffin as the winner of Who U Epp that was organized competition by Olamide. And somehow we were told, though it was a rumor, that's why you are here to spill it out.
Okay.
We were told that we heard that it's like you guys had issues. You were more like trying to boss over him, lord over him, because you were more like a senior colleague to him. So how true is that? Were you truly bossing over Muffin?
I think one of my faults in life is being overly simple. Okay. I look tough. I decided to wear the look that you say.
Okay.
Yeah, so that it will wear people off. And because I know how vulnerable I am, I can forgive somebody and forgive. Yeah, for real. But then I don't think there was any physical altercation or fracas between us, but I never bossed on him. I single-handedly, with nobody really helped me. Nobody knew how I was living in Lagos. People were just spilling rumors down here. But when I saw a younger brother stepping in to partake in a competition, I embraced him. Yeah. I accommodated him. The little I had, we shared together. I took him all around. I don't think he's ever seen Olamide in his life without me there. Up till now. Yeah. Wow. All the times he's seen Olamide in his life, I was the person that took him there. And he came from Yola after I've been in Lagos for over 2 years when he came.
Wow.
Yeah, I already studied the game. I learned, and Muffin is a very good artist. He picked whatever I taught him. Okay. And to God be the glory, we went and won. Lagos is a different kind of state in Nigeria. Lagos is somehow, is technically a country on its own.
Wow.
Yeah, and Lagos is literally a country on its own. So even if it's you, if I take you to Lagos, there are rules that I will give you. You just have to take those rules. It's not as if I'm trying to boss on you.
Yes.
But I'm a kind of person that if you refuse, the moment I find out you don't want to take them, I'll take my hands off. I made my fair share of mistakes in life. And then Muffin came. I didn't want him to make a mistake. Yeah, because we planned it all the way through till we got to emerge winners of that competition. There were big names there. Dagrin's younger brother, Trod, was part of the competition. Olamide chose us over him. So we did a very big battle.
Yes.
At the point, I just gave him the Lagos rule.
Yes.
Yeah, don't do this, because in Lagos, if you play, they will use you. Yes. They will use you till you finish. Then one day they will put you inside station wagon or Homer bus and send you back to your people, for real. So I don't want him to be used. I gave him some rules, like the simple rule that even separated me and him was, we don't have money yet. We're not there yet. Olamide did not promise us any signing yet. We just won the competition and we knew what the prize was. It was just a facelift. I would do a song with you, shoot a video with you. Okay, after then, who is going to sponsor our art? As at then, I think it can take you like 7 to like 10 million to push a single. Who in the north is going to give us that money?
Honestly.
You understand? So I was like, let's calm down and see how we can make the best of this situation. But let's not tell our people back home like we are made. We are not made. But an error happened. Rumor, this and that. Then his friends mounted on us in Lagos.
Wow.
Yeah, that exerted a lot of pressure. It wasn't, honestly, I didn't approve that.
They came in uninvited?
They came, man, one day he just told me his friends were at the park. So the moment the friends came, we became disorganized. And it was something that we had to do with a lot of precision. To meet Olamide in Lagos isn't easy. Like everybody in Lagos wants to meet Olamide. And here we are, 2 northern guys, where with nothing in the pocket, with that opportunity, we had to be precise in whatever decision we're making. Then when people came, thinking we already made money, this and that, in fact, they came and dragged him away from me. And that was how we parted ways.
Wow.
I lost a lot after that, but I never really complained. I lost a deal I was chasing because, I was trying to make sure that deal, because the company was trying to build right in front of me. I was like part of the record company. Yeah. So I was there, I was receiving wages per month, but I lost it after I brought him to Lagos. I lost my accommodation after I brought him to Lagos. Yeah. Like at that point, I was like, it's over, Tino. We just go. Thank God that this boy understands Lagos now. And he's got a place to stay. Let him just be where he is. But I've never seen him. It's been 9 years now. Yeah, I saw him a couple of years back.
That's the exact question I wanted asking. Where is Muffin now? When was it? Does he still acknowledge you as someone who has played a role in his life?
Me, all I heard on the street is he complained that I did this and that, but he never told me personally what I did to him. You understand? And since then, because of the things that I heard on the street, it was too much. I think he's been on his own and I've been on my own. I don't really know where he is right now and I don't have his contacts. Like, I don't think we connected even on social media. But all I have for him all the time is prayer. Because I actually came into this game to get younger ones that can do better than me.
Yes.
So I every day I sit down like this, I keep praying to see Mauphin's music pop up on a big screen where no matter how I want, whether I like it or not, I will see it. Yeah, that's my prayer. That's
a good prayer actually. Yeah. Talking about rules in Lagos, I was watching one of Jesse's interview, Jesse Jacks. He was, I think recently, about a month or so, he was saying that when they got to Lagos, they were staying with M.I. Abaga, his elder brother, that is his older brother, the same father, the same mother. He said M.I. made them to pay rent. Like, he was the owner of he was the person renting the house, but they had to pay rent to him. And that's the best way to train a young man. So that they will have this sense of responsibility. Because sometimes when you get everything for free, you tend to misuse it. You don't see the place of sacrifice inside. Bro, I'm telling you, if MI didn't train them that way, probably they couldn't have achieved what they achieved. Yes. He did the best thing. That's how it should be done. But you see, in my own case, I was being like a grandfather to that young man. I would lock him up in the room so he won't see me hustling. I would lock him up inside the room and give him lyrical assignments to do. I had laptop, my software, I would play beats for him so he would be rapping. Then I would go out to hustle so he wouldn't see and be scared. Yeah. So that I would get some money that we could use to do cap and eat and this and that. So in my own case, I think I was soft. I believe you will learn because similarly, Ashwin said something. He said, Emma is the type of person that once he comes to your room and meets you, he can just ask you and the lady should just go out of the house. I love that big brother, man. I wish Emma taught me along the line. I wish he mentored me along the line. By mere looking at him, I know he's a disciplinarian, and that's the kind of thing that an artist needs. Honestly. Because music on its own is a very big burden. To me, I see music like a mango seed. You know how it is after you peel the bark, you eat the mango and you still have the seed on your hand. Yes. You see a lot of flies coming to you. That's music. Before you start making money, a lot of girls will float in, boys with drugs will come with it, this and that. We all pass through all these struggles. Like,
bro, man, music is a very big thing. You need to be disciplined. You need an elder to tell you, don't do this. And this is where our younger artists are getting it wrong. We actually need to shout on them like generals. They have to take it like that.
Honestly.
Because it ain't smooth. Why do you think parents are scared of their kids going through music? They understand that there's a lot of subliminal danger in this business.
Yes.
Yeah, it can get a young man killed quick. The Tupac we hail him today died at the age of 25. He didn't really enjoy it. Biggie, the same thing. You can see a whole generation of all these drill rappers, or is it trap rappers, NBA, Young Boy, whatever, all these people, K-Von, King K-Von or something. You can see the whole generation is wiped out. They killed themselves out of what they met in music. So it's a dangerous thing to a level. A young man needs to be ready to accept orders if he wants to be a successful musician.
Wow, that's quite enlightening.
Thank you so much.
Now, talking about drug abuse, I think this is something that is also prevalent in the North, particularly the artists in the North. Will you say that the drug abuse has affected the impact or the growth of entertainment, particularly hip hop in the North, among upcoming artists?
I'm not gonna lie, because I'm one.
Okay. Wow.
I'm actually a survivor. But then I will say it straight ahead, man. Drug abuse has affected the growth of hip hop in the North.
Wow.
Yeah. I know all that is happening. I know all that is happening inside, and I know all that is happening outside. From the fans. I remember there was a time when I got a guy to cover for me. He used to be my friend, a huge Yoruba guy, Joshua. Like, Joshua, whenever we go to shows, please check my back, whatever. So after the whole show, I did well. And the whole crowd were amazed. They followed me outside while I was on my way going. So a lot of boys followed me. Martino, freestyle for us. While I was freestyling, I was confused because like 10 people were asking me things at once. And I just came off stage. Next thing, a guy gave me some pills. And I was confused. His command was, Sha. Yeah, like take it. And while I was trying to do a lot of things at once, I think I nearly responded to his command. Yeah, I was confused. I remember Joshua was the person that hit it down. A lot of artists are being fed fed drugs. Instead of them making money, all we see in the industry, drugs is one of those things that we've been seeing. And it has actually taken a toll on productivity, on our performance. A lot of young artists who came in, act under the influence, and they don't even want to listen to you. Whatever the drugs tells them is what they want to do. They spend a year, 2, 3, or 4 in the game, and at the end of the day, they run.
Yes. So
drugs has affected the industry adversely.
Now, most of your songs like Kariya Suke and then Mobuge, you talked about drug abuse. You've talked about the more like activism. Now, I've followed you for a while now. Over a decade now.
Yeah.
And I've heard people say that you constantly talk against drug abuse, while you yourself, you're a drug user, you're a drug abuser.
For real?
So it's more like you are being hypocritical.
Not really.
Why will a drug abuser,
Like what drugs am I abusing? Where have I seen drugs? I don't know. What type of drugs?
You don't do drugs?
I don't do drugs.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I told you before, I'm a survivor. I grew up in Jambutsu in Yola, where we cycled by all these kind of things. I think I look like the normal street guy because that's where I'm from. And I actually wear this look deliberately because I still want to look like those people that are on the street so that I can be able to go to them and tell them, don't do this. Okay. But let's not lie. I grew up in an area where you have to do a little bit of experiments. Probably when I was younger, we experimented on this and that. Okay. But I've never been a drug user, so to say. Okay. You hardly can come out with any evidence or picture or anything where people see me getting all high and stuff. Like
maybe it's the gangster look, the gangster dress.
Yeah. And I wear this look deliberately because you have to look like one of them so that you can be able to penetrate.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm glad that people look at me like one of those guys that will sing about drugs. Then when they listen to my music, they hear me artistically condemn it here and there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's just an art, bro.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, away from drugs, you've been in the game for how long?
Damn, man, it's over 2 decades right now.
20 plus.
Yeah.
Now, and then, why do you think you have the recognition that your other contemporaries have, like the likes of Classic, the likes of BOC, the likes of Morel, the likes of DJ AB, and so many of them? Do you think you have that recognition despite being in the game for over 2 decades?
I think with what I've seen in the industry nationwide, I've seen the Lagos part of the music industry. In fact, I'm even praying so that these names that you mentioned will get better things out of their arts.
Okay.
That's where I think I'm focused on. But then talking about recognition or getting whatever from them, I think I got what I wanted, because so far these names you've mentioned always give me my props. They respect me. These names you've mentioned, that if I call them once, they pick, we talk, we discuss, and I believe whatsoever they have, if I should ask them, I believe they'll be able to give me. But I'm much more concerned about the growth of the artists in the north. Sometimes, I've been to Lagos, where you see an artist buy a car worth $1 billion. I've seen a Lagos artist, he bought a car worth $1 billion, and I think the duty was like 35% of $1 billion, which is like 350 million. He just came, sent an empty bank account on his Facebook page, and before you knew it, there was $500 million in it.
Wow.
So the artists down there, like the gap between what we see here as growth is actually just child's play up there. So my prayer is that, my prayer is that all these names you've mentioned, all these artists, they've worked so much. I've been learning from them, honestly.
Okay.
And honestly, they've been doing stuff that I acknowledge so much. But my prayer is that they should get more reward for what they are doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you have any working relationship with any of them? Like, have you ever featured any of them in the song? Have they featured you in the song? What's the relationship with them beyond just calling them and they pick? Yes.
Wow. Like, sometimes these guys respect me to a level where I feel like, do I really deserve this? Yeah, most of them address me as senior man or mentor or this or that. And my relationship with them has been cordial and has been good. And I've been working with BOC. I have a couple of works in my PC with BOC. Actually, my dream is to have an EP with that young man. Okay. That guy is good, man. I love that guy, man. I'm his fan, actually, and at the same time, we are working on something. We've started recording 1-2 stuff. Then people like my brother Classic, Morel, we've been through a lot of stuff. I think even right now we're working on some stuff on how we can come together and make sure we get a better output out of this music industry in the whole of the Northeast. We're trying to focus on the Northeast. We want to make sure that the next generation of artists become really useful.
Yes.
Yeah, but first of all, we have to look at how to take care of our own arts first, magnify it. But the relationship has been cordial. There's been working relationship. We've been to so many events together. Okay. We're working on some tracks. Like I think Morel. I need a track with Morel.
Yes,
I need a track with Morel right now.
Yes, honestly,
we're talking on it.
That's nice. And now let's leave the Northeast. We've talked about Lagos. We've talked about your journey with Lagos, the experience with Muffin. We've talked about the Northeast. Now let's narrow it down to where you're based. You're from Taraba, right?
Yeah,
but you are based in Adamawa.
I'm Adamawa self right now. Like, I beg your pardon.
Okay, you're from Adamawa.
Yeah, Adamawa now. Man.
Okay, now, over the years, now, earlier when we were talking...
But all due respect, blood now, blood. That's why I'm here. I always come here. Whatever I get there, I will tell them I have to come and share with my brothers. They need to understand that this is where I originated from. Yes. But then I'm Adamawa, bro. So much love, my people.
That's good to hear. Now, earlier on, you talked about peace, talking about peace, the song you did, Us versus Us, in the bid to promulgate peace more.
Yeah.
But over the years, you've been, I think you are probably one of the most controversial artists, let me use the word, in the Northeast, right? And with more emphasis on Adamawa, you've had issues with almost every artist, let me use the word, almost every artist. I've heard that with XM, with Mickey the Viper, recently with 1P, and so many of them. What is the problem? How could it be that someone who preaches peace is now having issues with almost every person coming up?
In this kind of situation, whenever you hear something, you should try as much as possible to get to find the bone of contention. Okay. What actually happens? Is it that MarTino is truly violent, or sometimes, when something is good, everybody wanna have attachments to it. Yes. So when people talk about beef, I often sit down and I wonder. I'm a person that loves to teach people.
Okay.
Yeah, I came into this game, like I told you, with absolute calculation on how this thing will grow over time. That's why I think I was able to be in it for quite some time. I've seen a lot of young people, like some of these names you've mentioned. I think some of them left the game. They just don't want to admit it, because if you can go online, you get to find out they haven't dropped a song in like 5 to 7 years.
Wow.
Yeah. Yes. Some of them actually left, but they don't want to admit it. But then I never really got any problem with any of these young men. And in fact, I taught some of them.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it's just a strategy that at the point I observed something like when I went to Lagos, just like we started talking earlier, a couple of people said MarTino has been signed, whereas I never put my hand on any paper. So for that reason, I then saw the ripple effect. People in my hometown who didn't really understand what the record label was, were just trying to show to the world that they've been signed. So they just create whatever they call. They just call something like that with no papers, nothing, no funds, and say it's a record label. Some even claim they are signing artists. I'll see somebody who is not making a dime, claiming he has 6-7 artists.
How?
So one thing that I deduced from that is they probably want to emulate what they did, and at the point they got it all wrong. Even rumors, when they hear rumors, MarTino has been signed, now they want to go on a level. It's not my fault. Like to cut it short, I don't have problem with much of these people that you're talking about. Some I never really ran anything with them. I barely even knew them. Some probably I met them once or twice. But then you hear a lot of stories online.
So it's more like you are the star there, and everybody who wants to get recognition or attention has to stone you.
Honestly. But sometimes I used to ask them, there was a time I came back and more than half of the artists in my town have a name that sounds like mine.
Wow.
Yeah. In fact, some were even bearing Tino. Yeah,
yes.
Like a couple of Tinos.
I saw you.
But I think they should channel the energy in another way. Sometimes I used to ask these guys, if you hit MarTino down, what are you going to inherit? Like, if I'm not the kind of person who believes in beefing people to get there. I think I always believe in my potentials. I think I'm blessed. I think I have what it takes to have new things to show the world. But even if I'm to go against someone, I'll go against someone when I know what he has.
Yes.
Whether I'm going to benefit if I hit the person down. I think they are getting it wrong, and I don't really know what they're saying because I'm just doing my thing and they're saying what they're saying. They can do what they want to do.
Probably it's for the culture. You can't take away beef from hip hop. Probably it's for the culture.
I think that's a wrong notion. Seriously, I need to say this under this platform. There is competition in every business, not just hip hop.
Yes.
But then we shouldn't think hip hop is the basis. Like beef is the basis of growth in entertainment. No. Beef, just like there's competition in every business, and because musicians' activities are usually out there in the public, the little beefs that happened in the past were seen like catalysts. But beef has never been a catalyst. Beef has been, it raises the market a little bit because, a human being is naturally adversarial.
Yes.
They would love to hear about fights here and there. But then it's nothing. Beef has been destructive, bro. Okay, remember Tupac, Biggie, they all gone.
Yes.
I told you of a certain generation of rappers beefing themselves. They're all gone.
Yes.
So how positive is that? I accept that there is competition in every business, but then beef is not part of the culture. Hip hop is a culture that has 5 arms, and there are some other sub arms right now as technology. We have the b-boying, DJing, MCing, that's rapping, graffiti, whatever. We have like 5 arms or pillars, as people tell it, 5 main arms. There is no beef in it.
Wow.
Yeah, beef is not one of the pillars of hip hop.
You seem to know this hip hop very well, in depth.
Bro, man, I'm cultural, man. Hip hop is my culture. It's my culture.
That's right. So it means that most of this beef, these things we hear online, beef about MarTino and this person, MarTino and Mickey the Viper, MarTino and XM, MarTino and this person, most times are just mere rumor or just an illusion, or sometimes just in the beats to get more popular.
I just saw some young men trying to be relevant.
Okay.
But I'm an elephant. You can't catch me fighting ants.
I got that rhymes there.
Yeah, I think a bunch of young men just want to be relevant. But I'm an elephant and you can't catch me fighting ants.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know what it means, but I believe
how can an elephant wrestle an ant? Like there's no way to hold itself. Like the pedigree, man. Like we exist in different worlds. I think if I have an advice for these young men, they should just take the positive side of. They have a lot of things to beef.
Yes.
Like me personally, I have poverty to fight against. I have drug abuse to fight against. I have a lot of vices to fight against.
Yes.
I can't waste my energy doing all these things. I think they should focus on working together.
Yes.
If they come, maybe let's share ideas and move forward. There's no beef anywhere.
Okay. Thank God you've cleared the air.
Yeah.
Now let's come back home. Now let's come back to our home.
Yeah.
Adamawa is home also.
Yeah,
Adamawa is home to you. Taraba is home to you. We've talked about Adamawa. Now let's come to Taraba.
Yeah.
You've been here so many times. This is your home also.
Yeah.
So what do you think? We have numerous talents in Taraba State.
Honestly.
Personally, I believe that aside from Jos, I think Taraba State in the north is one of the state that has the most talented artists, entertainers generally.
Even Jaws are learning some Tarabans. Am I? Jesse?
Yes,
Yeah, they
you
all-
get it.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel Taraba State is one of the most talented states in the north.
Yeah.
But then you realize that people hardly go beyond a certain level. And then, so what do you think as a professional, as someone who has been in the game for over 2 decades, for over 20 years? A 20 years old child is, a 20 years old person is not a small child.
Honestly.
So imagine someone that has that experience. What do you think is, or what do you think are the reasons why the entertainment here, particularly those in the music scene, hip hop, are not going beyond a certain level?
Actually, we're learning every day. And now that I'm back, now that I'm in Jalingo, actually, like, I'm still learning some more. But the problems have been so much. First of all, I think Taraba doesn't have somebody who is really, really experienced in the arts of, let me say, artistry. Let's talk about artistry itself. Somebody who has actually sacrificed to go out there, learn new things, then come back to teach the rest on artistry. I've seen Taraba doing big things in modeling, a lot of dope hype men, whatever. But when it comes to artistry, there's always been a not too good result. I think compared to the quality of the talent, we're not getting things back. And I think it's, I'll urge the artists to sit down and ask themselves collectively. They've been having TSEI, whatever. I wonder why they don't sit down to point out problems, outline the problems and seek for solutions. I think they need to sit down and tell themselves the truth. So it boils down to the fact that a lot of people are just carried away by this illusion of being celebrities.
Okay.
Yeah, illusion of being celebrity. The moment they drop that thing, I think they will get it right. One thing is they need to know the economics of the game. You can't just keep recording music and keep throwing it out there without checking how much is actually coming in.
Yes.
So they need to sit down and look, what's stopping the music from coming in? Am I sending the music to the wrong direction? Am I recording the wrong music? I think a lot of artists in Taraba, I heard a couple of music in Taraba. Some of them, I think they need to mix it with a little bit of the local language here.
Okay.
Yeah, basically Hausa, which almost everybody hears. Then you can sing with a little bit of your juku and your whatever in it.
Yes.
Yeah, that shows originality. Some of them want to do exactly what they see some Lagos artists doing.
Okay.
Meanwhile, those artists over there spend millions on what they are doing before it sells. Yeah, I don't think they have the money to project the art to that level. So what do you do now? Simplify your art so that the shoemaker in Jalingo can relate to it.
Okay.
Yeah, so that the normal man will relate to it. If these people can relate to your art, they can gang up together and push you out there. So one thing is, Taraba State artists need to look at the kind of music they make. You don't just go, I will tell this artist this thing. Don't do that song that satisfies you.
Okay.
Please, I'm begging them. At this point, we want the industry to grow. We want to see one artist with money. One or two. It mustn't be me. It can be anybody. But don't do that music that satisfies your soul. Simply because you as a person loves Naira Marley and you love the way his sounds goes, you want to replicate what he does. No. Look at the target audience and sing that song that they will like.
Okay.
Yeah. I notice a lot of artists, they want to sing things that satisfies them or their small circle of friends. They don't look at the general audience, so they must start doing that. Secondly, they should avoid insubordination. All this beef thing, you understand? I've been hearing a couple, but sometimes the beef issue passes the artistry. Then the artists need to be disciplined. They are not business minded at all.
That's the business in music, beyond just singing.
For example, now I'm MarTino. If a big corporation comes and they want to make use of my arts, honestly, I will charge them.
Okay.
For example, I've seen places in Jalingo, they'll bring like 4 or 5 artists from outside and spend up to 10 million on them. So if such people will call me, I will charge them too. If you have enough money to give people who are out of Taraba, I think you should have a little to give me.
Yes.
Even if it is a small 200, 300 to 500K, you should look for, so that tomorrow I can garnish my own art. But by the time I charge them, another artist in Jalingo will go there for free.
That's the problem.
Yeah, then the outsiders that come will pack the whole money, go and leave the whole of Taraba State artists broke.
And then we are back to the same cycle.
Back
again.
to square one. So most of the problems we're having, there are many other problems, but the number one thing is I'll blame myself as the artist, and I'll blame my brothers. You understand me? I'll blame us for not being technical about this whole thing. We need to know what we're out to do. It's not all about just being celebrities. This thing needs to start servicing itself.
Yes. Yes.
A lot of artists sing for themselves and for their group of friends, not to sell it. And it's bad to the growth of hip-hop.
Honestly, this is...
Or Afro hip-hop, if we are...
This is actually eye-opening.
Yeah.
What you've said is eye-opening. Because I know quite a number of them that are doing well. And
Really
sometimes we bring in people from outside, which is good, to boost the entertainment here.
Yeah.
But our brothers here should get something reasonable.
Honestly.
And sometimes it's because the people see it as a platform. So you're sharing the same stage with a big star, so they see it as a platform and they can just go even there for free. You get the orientation from this? Yes.
I've been coming to Taraba for quite some time, and it would be sad if coming to Taraba on and off to come and, liaise with my brothers, converse, sometimes perform with them. And it's sad if all the artists in Taraba are still looking for platform up to now. I think they've gotten the platform with the fact that they have studios in town. God bless them with the talent. That's number one. God bless Taraba with that talent, from the production to the singing to whatever. And then you have all the stages in town, and you're still telling me you're looking for platform. The platform is already there. Just make good use of it. On the issue of bringing artists from outside, I think it's a nice thing, but I have this advice for the people of Taraba. They've been doing it a lot, more frequent than any other state in the Northeast. Recently, I saw Ice Prince, Jesse. I saw some couple of Lagos artists that I can't really name. I saw Classic recently. Yes. It's nice to bring these guys in. We love it so that they can pass experience. One of the things we want to get from them, the reason why I would advise whosoever to pay Ice Prince and the rest to come in, is they need to come in contact with our own artists. So in your arrangements, you must create space for the home-based artists. Starting from the accommodation where Ice Prince will live. 1 or 2 Taraba artists are supposed to be there with them so that they can converse, exchange numbers. These are some of the values we want to extract from these people we're bringing in. Secondly, you need to give a stage for 2, 3. I'm not saying all. Don't take me there, but we have a couple of young people in Taraba. Let's take them there. Screen, take 2, 3, give them a little bit of money that they can use to, polish their arts together. I'm pleading on behalf of Taraba State artists that whenever anybody, be it the government or a well-to-do individual, is bringing in an artist from outside, they should be deliberate about building their own children. Yeah, they should be deliberate. Please, I urge them to just take the risk and don't feel threatened. They shouldn't feel like if I give these boys money, they will don't. No, just call them, give them a little something. Mix them up with these outsiders, and that's how we will develop our own.
I think this is quite thoughtful, but I think we recently been able to raise someone who is doing well outside Diasun. He's been doing well in Lagos. I think that's one person from Taraba State, aside the likes of M.I. Abaga, JC, and I think
we can't make claims of MI and whatever because they are our brothers actually, but then they made it happen out there.
Yes.
Whatever they get, we won't be just so unjust to say MI and Jesse are our own. No, we have to allow the people that groom them, that help them to develop, to also enjoy them. Maybe they come in once in a while. But then when you talk about Diaso is actually a producer. I've seen this thing happen in Yola before. T-Klex, my friend, was the first to go amongst us. So I got to find out that it's easy, though it's not hard actually, but it's easier for a producer to get out first. But now what we're trying to do is we're trying to see an artist gain international recognition. In fact, I don't want the artist to leave Taraba and go to stay in Lagos or wherever. He can go there for a while, maybe mix up with people 1 month, 2 months, come back. But I want the artist to blow from inside Taraba. I think we have what it takes.
Yes.
The world is a global village. We can make art. We have a lot of beautiful places, shoot videos, do whatever and sell it.
Leverage on the internet.
Honestly, we can all gang up like that. I've seen a lot of Taraba people every day on Facebook. Every day. So we can all gang up and push 1 or 2 people. And I'm urging our people, sometimes just help the artists, making just let there be just one less broke guy off the street. Don't be threatened by their growth. Just help them. And then the artists too should be humbled so that the people won't feel threatened. We should be humble, honestly.
Collaboration.
There hasn't been so much collaboration like that. Everybody's kind of individualistic here.
That's the problem.
But I want to tell you guys, man, Taraba artists, let me tell you, no man is an island. If we really want somebody to move forward, we must come together and collaborate. Don't, if you know that somebody is good, your friend is good, you can collaborate with him. Don't just go out there and be feeling like I have a problem with this guy. Whatever the problem is, go and iron it out with the person so that you people can combine your talents and bring something good to us. At Taraba, we also want to see your artist out there receiving Grammys. Diaso did it as a producer. You artists can do it also. So come together, bury your differences, collaborate, think about how to organize events. You know, music goes beyond just going to the studio to record.
Honestly.
And you should shun smoking in the studio, please. Yeah, please reduce smoking in the studio and whatever. It doesn't give us.
I like the word reduce. If it can be stopped,
it
can be reduced.
Yeah, we have to just reduce.
Yes. And so before we go, I think we've spoken at length. You've said so many things this is more like a diploma course or a certificate in music. So before we go, tell us a little about Northern Exposure, your own outfit or imprint that you've been working on, or you owned.
The idea of Northern Exposure started when I was in Lagos.
Okay.
Yeah, like whenever I rap, they'd be like, "Where are you from?" I say from the north. It'd be like Aboki. Yeah, you know, the area where I was, they were so, how did you? So I was like, we exposed in the north. We have our own, you know, swag. We have our own way of doing things. In fact, we can teach you if you want. Yes. So like, because I saw to it that they kind of like never believed we can be this good. They feel like we are kind of inferior, so to say. I intended to set up a company that will help in projecting the beautiful image of the north out there. I would like to see the Southerners want to copy the way we live our lives here.
Yes.
So I set up a company, Northern Exposure, with a recording studio as a part of it, a clothing line.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. With time, if I'm able to make some money and buy cameras like you, I may start I may start some movies. That's this and that, just in order to project the image
of the north.
Yeah, of the north, and you know, sell our ideas out there to people. That's what Northern Exposure is all about.
That's great.
Yeah.
You have some artists under you?
Yeah, so far I don't want to say I sign. No. Okay. Because I don't think I have enough money to sign anyone. Yeah. Okay. But then I mentor a couple of young men. For example, there is Lars.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah. But then at the point I had to keep Lars on the ground to tell him, my brother, come, let's talk. How do we? Where are we going to? And then at the point I came to an agreement with him. He wants to read. So now he's in his 5th year in the university. He's about graduating.
That's good. That's great.
And we made this decision way back then, and look at where we are. So in order for him to concentrate on school, I made sure my studio is available for him, so that whenever he carries his musical stress, he can come to. So I work with Lars. I work with a couple of guys, Dausa, Scoflow. A couple of them do come to my house to record. Like, we just work together as brothers, but nobody's really signed like that. But whenever I'm contracted to do something as Northern Exposure, I can call on to these guys and we work it out.
Been in the industry for long, do you think your music has a positive role in the lives of the people in the north, in your state, in Taraba, in Adamawa, and the north generally, or in the northeastern sub-region?
Honestly, I feel blessed with the outcome of my music so far. Okay. I met a couple of people who told me, Martino, I stopped taking drugs because I heard this line. Okay. I met a guy recently in Yola, a Fulani guy he works now as an automobile mechanic. He works on all these big vehicles, the trailers and stuff. He said his journey started from him listening to my EP, my album, Aboki's Lyrical Exercise, over and over in his room. To a point where one day his grandma met him listening to Neminaka.
Yes,
Neminaka. And she said now you can hear this musician telling you to look for yours. And what you're doing, he said, then from there he started making his decision. And today he's a very well-to-do mechanic, doing well, paying his bills and doing good. So whenever I hear such testimonies, I feel really happy. And like, when I started music, there were much artists around. But today, last year in Adamawa, we did Adamawa Countdown. I saw like 23 to 25 young men in Adamawa being paid by the government to perform as musicians. Wow. Yeah, and you see, I think I feel very good about this result. When I started, it wasn't like this.
Yes.
But now it's a lot of things I can't mention, man.
That's quite impressive. That's quite impressive.
Yeah.
Are you working on any projects now?
A lot of projects, like I told you. But sometimes, I won't lie to you, procrastination, you know, the Nigeria that we are in, you're trying to do this, another thing is popping out. But now I'm much more worried about seeing a set of younger artists being on track.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm recording. I have a lot of projects. I think I can pull out an album in my PC right now.
Wow.
Yeah. But then I'm much more worried about seeing the young ones being on track.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm much more worried about. I want to see my young ones on track because very soon person go old though.
So,
and these young ones will come feed them.
So of all your songs, which of all your, let me just join two questions at the same time. What is your favorite collaboration, or you think your biggest collaboration? And of all your songs, which of them do you think you like most?
Wow. Honestly, I'll tell you something. A musician doesn't really like listening to himself sometimes. And I'm one of them.
Okay.
Yeah, there are songs that people actually love more than me, but there are songs that I love by myself. Okay. So to me, it's Neminaka. The song, song Neminaka, because there are things that I say that I actually like. When I said, Chika bada nema gaye karkasare, one day you go get. We upgraded to the CDs from the radio cassettes. I belong to every group like intersection of a set and took some calculated steps to avoid early death.
Wow.
Danazari watakila, but I turned to a butterfly from a caterpillar. You know, I was talking like it's actually deep, but I'm trying to let these young men understand. We upgraded to the CDs from the radio cassettes. And in fact, if you are careful enough, you get to find out that today we no more on the CDs again. Yes. We've gone to even memory card. We've gone to past that. Now we're in the streaming era. Yes. So I'm trying to let these young people through that song to understand what it means to hustle as a musician. You must understand the trend. You must know where we've been before. Yes. To know where we are today.
And where we are heading to.
And where we're heading to. Yeah, and I had to tell them some facts. Like I belong to every group, like intersection of a set, and took some calculated steps to avoid early death.
You sound so educated.
Bro, man, I love books, honestly. I love books. I wish I got to become a teacher in the class.
You actually, okay, but not in class though.
Yeah, I'm a teacher on the street.
So your favorite collaboration, you've worked with so many artists, which of them do you think is your favorite?
The favorite is yet to come.
Wow.
Yeah.
Of all your over 100 songs?
The favorite is yet to come. If you're talking about collaborations, because I have a collaboration with BOC. I have a collaboration with Blackface Nigeria, which
Blackface.
Blackface Nigeria. I have one with Classic somewhere. I'm working on something with Morel and T-Clex. Wow. So I think the best is yet to come. Wow. But if we talk about being on a record, damn, maybe the best record I've done probably maybe you've not known the artist actually. Okay. And probably you don't know the artist, but then I worked with a couple of artists and I think it's all good, but the best is yet to come. Okay. Yeah, when it comes, you hear it.
Okay. I'll be looking forward to that.
Yeah, thank you, man.
And so before we call it a wrap, can you just drop, my favorite song of all your songs, I love almost all of them, is Yennawaun. I listened to that song during the era of Tindek.
Yeah, yeah.
Then I crammed your profile in Tindek.
Okay,
yes.
You could go Tindek.com/user/MarTino
Elcasino. Yes.
Damn. That's amazing.
Yes. I've been your diehard fan from the onset.
That's amazing.
Yes. But now the side is not even there. And I had some of your songs with Job, I think Unconditional Love or something about love, like a gospel song. So before you go, just give us a line of one of your songs. Can you still remember your lines in Ennawawu?
It's still in here.
Just give us a line from Ennawawu before we call it a wrap.
Let me see Ennawawu, how is it like? You could call me the king of music, but idan baka san bala'i ko kana guje mu yaki ka tabo mu da tso kana tina Elcasino kana hit you yaro ba da guri ko in buge ka da ko karato ga lulu a cikin juji gefe hada lungu duk sun ji ina iya sake rapping sake hada da party sai mu tashi mu hada hannu don makiya su fadi ƙaryan maye ci dan boka to display headers that I'm gonna take it over in sun rufe kofa but then the part I like was that ina zaune cikin inuwa suna gudu sama da kasa za su kama dan maman Patience. That was where I coined the alter ego dan maman Patience. Okay. The moment people heard it there, and I placed the line deliberately there.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, and I'm happy that the line hit, and I was able to build on that.
Yes. I love the line, ni ne yaro nan me yawo nan da boron baya nan dan masanin bayro nan wanda baya ta in baya nan.
One of my tracks I said, a hood boy with the talent of rap, freestyling at the back of the bar. Wow. Move around town with t-shirt, jeans, bandanas, and bags. I'm working hard to make a couple of tracks. As a matter of fact, yanzu na fara ta agbada ni da gayu muna taka kasa domin na ga masu dama suna kama wanda za su daka dole ne in ta fita da jaka. But you know, Makana lyrics can defy the laws of physics. And now reveal it. Right now it's time to spill it.
Wow. Just clap.
Okay, don't panic. Of course, you can relax a bit. I'm chilling with my homeboy Afos, and that's Rhapsody.
You're taking over, man. Okay, you've heard it for yourself. We've been in the studio with the lyrical legend himself, MarTino Elcasino. And before we call it wrap, do you have anything you want to say to our viewers?
Number one thing I would like to tell our viewers to always follow Afos Rhapsody. Follow his page. Follow, spill it the podcast. This is the end thing. This is the newest thing. And I believe in this platform.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I will urge the viewers to always follow your page and follow your podcast. Please make sure you go on YouTube, view it, share it. That's number one thing I'm about to say. And secondly, I want to tell our people that hip hop is a culture which we can all actually use to help build this society in a good way. They shouldn't see it like something bad. It's a very good thing, a very beautiful thing. I encourage our elders to focus on it, invest in it, so that we can create an industry in a way that it will suit our culture. Let's not just allow our youth to absorb also the music out there and just go wayward. I want all the well-to-do individuals, government, but everybody, including you and I, to come together and make sure, the youth spend a lot of energy on music.
Yes.
So let's go in there and help them shape it. The youth, please, I urge you, shun drugs, be careful with drugs. Don't join gangsterism. Forget about get rich quick schemes, And I want to categorically tell you that all this Babalawo money doesn't work. Don't go and waste your time. Look for a legit hustle, come together, collaborate, think about how to build the North and Nigeria at large, and I think we can be able to make the world a better place. Cheers.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I really appreciate you, man. Thank you for the lyrical exercise that you put me through, man. Now I'm feeling like I should go and record a new song.
We'll be looking forward to that.
All right, thank you so much, man.
So, dear viewers, thank you so much for staying all through with us. I'm sure you've learned so much. I'm sure you've learned so much. You've learned a whole lot of things from all our discussion with MarTino Elcasino. From his experience in Lagos to all the things he passed through and through all the challenges of being a northern artist, and he also profiles solutions to some of these things. I'm glad you learned something from this. And you can feel free to share this with your friends, your brothers, people who are into music, people who have negative beliefs about music. He has cleared the doubt. Remember, this is Spill It Podcast, where we say it as it is. Here we unravel hidden truths and untold stories. See you in our next episode. Thank you so much.